to A Million Cups. And who's here for the first time? And? Great, thank you. How many entrepreneurs in the room? Yeah, that's even better. Thanks. We've got two really good presenters this morning. Before we get started, couple of introductions. We do have the president of MSU in the house, Mr. Cliff Smart. So, welcome, come back. And we have Miss Catherine Deck from 1 Million Cups in Kansas City with Kaufman. She's from Springfield and getting married this weekend, right? So anyway, congratulations to you. All right, we've got a refill quasi New Deal this morning with Devin and Carrie Didier with Sweet Girl. So, take it away, folks.
Good morning. I'm Carrie. That's Devin over there. From Sweet Girl Bath and Body, and we are glad to be back with you this morning. I'm a homeschooling, work-at-home mom of many, so you promised me caffeine, and I am like all excited to be here. So I already got my cup, and I'm excited. So I want to start by just talking to you a little bit about your daily routine, and I want you to think about what you do almost every day, probably. And most of us, and the person next to you hopes, that you shower regularly. So probably you have a bath product that you use, maybe a body gel or a body wash, and maybe you use a shampoo. Us ladies, we get more involved, right? So we probably have conditioner and things that we use. We get out of the shower, and hopefully y'all are wearing deodorant. That might contain an antiperspirant as well. Now men, they're kind of simple usually with their getting ready, so they might stop there. But even men, nowadays we use hair products, maybe a lotion, aftershave, those kinds of things. And women, well, we kind of go all out a lot of times. So we probably have more than one hair product, makeup, things like that. And so these are all things that you're using on a daily basis. On average, the Environmental Working Group has discovered that the average U.S. woman uses 12 personal care products. That's 168 different chemicals that you're putting on your body every day. The average man, like I said, a little simpler, 85 chemicals. And then an average U.S. teen uses 17 personal care products, so a little bit more than the women even. They actually tested blood and urine from several teenage girls and discovered that there are 16 hormone-altering chemicals in their blood and urine on average. So this is what we're putting in our body daily for a lifetime. It's kind of scary. So we have a way that we are simplifying life, and we are trying to decrease our toxic load that we are putting on ourselves. And so we have created a line of products that are simple. We have a soap, coconut oil soap, natural deodorant, and a line of lotion products that are very simple, contain no artificial fragrances, no fillers, no GMOs. They are completely natural. And we can use these products as multitaskers. So we've been sold this line that we need a special facial moisturizer, and we need a body moisturizer, and we need hair shampoo, and we need body wash. But we have products that you can use for different things using one product. We did this because we started out looking for products that were safe for our own family. We have a son who has eczema, and he was very, very easily inflamed by things like artificial fragrances and synthetic chemicals, and so we were looking for a way to have him have something safe and natural for him. And then of course it grew, and we wanted to share that with our friends and our family, and we want to provide that as an option for people to use for their families at a local choice. So we use simple ingredients. Mostly we use shea butter, coconut oil, and beeswax. They're moisturizing, they're sustainable, they're safe, there's no parabens, there's no added chemicals. If we have any scents in our products, they're all from essential oils. We don't use any artificial fragrances. And so we found that simple is better, and simple works for what we need it to do. We started selling our products online and at Farmers Market of the Ozarks, which we're still there. We have our products in Ellicott. That's my middle daughter. We have our baby here with us today. But that's at Ellicott Gifts and Designs. We're in Mama Jean's, and we're also now at Tiff's Natural Market. in Marshfield. This is our second time here at Million Cups, and since we were here last year, we actually created a new product called Tattoob, and we created that specifically for Ink Tattoo, which is down on Commercial Street, and they were looking for a natural aftercare product for tattoos, and they wanted something local, and so we created this, and we are now getting ready to launch this as its own website, as its own product line. Sorry, there it goes. And we are also working on Simple Man, which is going to be ready to launch here in 2016, which it will be natural grooming products for men. We're just going with a simple line with them as well, but men are kind of opposed to using a product that says Sweet Girl on it. So we've discovered this is a problem, and so we decided we would expand that out a little bit and try to give you guys something safe and natural for you as well, although there are some that use it. So we also have expanded our website growth, and we're continuing to work on that in a redesign of our website. Since 2014, we started in 2013. Since 2014, we've doubled our sales, and we project doubling again this next year. Ink is actually opening a second location, so we're growing very quickly. So where we are now is that we are looking to look for a dedicated workspace. What we've done right now, so far, everything has been a couple and their children working in their home, making all these products. And so we are busy, and that's great, we love it. And we're keeping up right now, but we're to the point where we need a dedicated workspace for us to be able to make more product. And we also need more capital to be able to cut our costs and buy it with bigger amounts to be able to increase our profitability. So that's where we are right now, and that's our logo. This is what we think is so important. We want everybody to remember that although we can't take all the chemicals out of our lives, and we still live in this world and we'll breathe them in or whatever, we can still do what we can to reduce all of the toxins that we're putting in, and we really truly believe that all natural makes all the difference. So.
All right, guys, we're going to open it up to questions, feedback. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll give you a mic.
He's going to help me answer questions too, and we have a baby. If she screams, we're sorry.
I am kind of interested to learn more about how you put all this together, how you create it, how you package it, label it, and then get it out there to the customer.
Sure. Well, everything we do, like I said, is at home. And so we both have tag team now. It started out where I was just making all the products. Devin still worked full-time at his regular job, but that grew, and now this is his regular job. So we make the products at home in our kitchen, and so we have a dedicated space in our kitchen where we work with Sweet Girl, and then we make all our products there. The kids sometimes help us label. He's designed all of our packaging and all of our labeling, and we print those ourselves and we put it all together. And the Tattoob is actually the only one that we have gone ahead and gone to professional labels that we get made down in Nixa. So.
Hi, it's great to see you guys this morning. I met you at Farmers Market a few weeks ago. Yeah, and you shared with me your experience at Farmers Market, which helped me to decide whether to have a booth there with my cards that I have. Would you share with others kind of how you got started at, and built your business and grew it to the point where you were in Mama Jean's and other places and the tattoo shops and things?
Okay. You want to answer that? You want me? Okay. Farmers Market was a huge step for us. We decided that we were going to launch there and see how it went. And 2013, the Farmers Market of the Ozarks was kind of a small entity, but it had promised to grow. And we saw what happened as far as the Farmers Market of the Ozarks continue to grow, building customers and developing within agritourism, if you will. We have people that come from the Garden Hilton, that stay there overnight, they come down and they visit the Farmers Market, and they're captivated by the fact that there's such a huge, plentiful, bountiful harvest that's there. Not only produce, but also crafts and gifts and things like that, and like your cards. And so anyway, that is really what's helped us launch there. 1 Million Cups was amazing for us because of 1 Million Cups, we were introduced to Kelsey Rogers, who's the owner of Ink, and she asked us to make something, and we're like, sure, we'll go to the drawing board. And we went, and we came back with stuff, and we went back and forth with her, developed a product that we felt was a good product. She tested it and said, hey, this is great, and her customers love it. They come in and ask for it and ask for it and ask for it. So so that's kind of that. And in Mama Jeans, that was a part of 1 Million Cups as well. Because of that, Crystal Dwiggins heard of us, heard of our deodorant, said that she wanted to find out more about it. We set up a meeting, and I mean within 2 or 3 weeks we were in Mama Jeans, all 3 Mama Jeans. So it was like, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing. You never know what it's going to lead you to. And from that, Tiff's Natural Market, and we've also been asked by numerous places outside of this, and we're still kind of trying to capture all that. But there's things on the horizon. We just got to increase our productivity.
Congratulations on doubling your growth every year. Very exciting and neat to watch that happen. You've grown, you just mentioned it, organically. So what are those things you're doing to scale it beyond just the regional area?
We've increased our Facebook marketing. This is one thing that we've done social media-wise. We've done some paid advertisements. We use Instagram almost every week. Twitter some, a little bit. And then as far as the internet, it's just promotion and talking. And really what has spread us outside of this area has been somewhat agritourism. That's from them people coming into the farmers market. But it's also been word of mouth. We've had friends, we've had people come into the booth. We call them friends now. We call them our sweet friends. But people that come into our booth and they say, I tried your product, I went home immediately, called my sister or called my brother or whatever and told them about your product, and then it's like a next week we have an order from them. So we have shipped to Utah, California, I mean just everywhere. East Coast, West Coast, we've shipped all over, Texas, and we're seeing that our online presence grow and grow and grow. It's not where I would like it to be, and I think that we need to reach further than that, and so that's one of the reasons why we're here.
Piggybacking off that question and response, mine was in regards to your e-commerce solution. So currently you sell products on your website, and I was just wondering what percentage of your business, you're saying you want to grow that, what percentage is it now, and do you have a plan for other opportunities like Amazon, or I don't know if they sell stuff like this on Etsy, or other mediums to increase that? So percentage of your sales online currently, and next steps for that if you have a plan.
Yeah, I would say that our sales online are probably 5% maybe. Truly half of our sales come from Farmers Market of the Ozarks. And then the pie is kind of split between Inc. and Mama Jeans, which that's kind of amazing when you think about that. That's one store, one tattoo place, and they've covered a quarter of our sales for this last year. So I think that in some cases we've looked at this as being a niche market that we haven't really developed yet, because it's only one store that we've really marketed to. Mama Jeans we're in talks with them as far as them taking on our tattoo tube as well. But as far as hitting local tattoo artists and stuff like that, we have not done that. But in the future, we're looking towards doing some things like that, and especially launching it online. You talked about e-commerce online. There's a lot of different stores out there that you can use. We can use Shopify. We can use what we use right now is Weebly. We've created ourselves. There's a lot of e-commerce solutions. Our e-commerce right now, I don't feel is robust enough for us. I would like for it to have a little bit more options, and so I'm working on trying to integrate into a better platform for us that would help us as well in social media and being able to get that. So.
And Amazon, we did look into Amazon, but we're not there yet. They have requirements for laboratory testing and things like that we're not ready for yet.
And we're not opposed to those things. We're definitely not opposed to those things. I think our products would definitely pass those tests, but we just haven't quite got there yet. So.
I was going to ask you about your e-commerce strategy over here.
There you are. Sorry.
But since we've covered that ground, let me ask you this question. Have you looked into multi-level marketing where you allow reps to build organizations and move your product through a multi-level system? We
have discussed that between us business associates. And the only concern that we have there is keeping it's a good model. I'm not sure exactly when you get to that point. Sometimes you might want to talk to this better than I do.
As being a mom, I mean, like we had lots of friends that sell everything, and we just kind of wanted to make sure that we're maintaining the integrity of the product and that people know what they're talking about if they were going to be selling the product. So it's kind of a more in-depth thing than we've taken on for sure. Yeah, we have tossed the idea around, but we're
I think
not
the
sure
model is proven, and it works as far as those kinds of things are concerned. And there's a similar product to ours that has used that model, but we're trying to be careful and cautious about keeping, like she said, the integrity of our product and making sure that people are. One of the things that we believe is important is not only just giving people product, but also talking and educating people about, what they're putting on their skin, and letting people know about that. So we want to find the best way, and that's a good thing. As far as media, I know 4 and 7. We just did an interview with 4 and 7, so we're excited about that as far as local things. But
Yeah.
I have a question. How did you come up with the formula, the science of your product?
Kind of trial and error.
How long did that take?
Well, I experimented with different things. I mean, because we were just using it for our family, and so probably over the course of a couple years of just me doing different things. But when we got to something that we felt like we liked, then we let people try it, and I mean, everyone that tried it enjoyed the way that it was. So we haven't really tweaked like our basic products at all. The deodorant took longer. A lot of people came to Farmers Market of the Ozarks and asked for a natural deodorant, and we were like, we just don't have anything. But when we finally got the right combination of essential oils and ingredients and things like that, again, we want everybody to be, I mean, of course you can't make everybody happy, but we want people to enjoy the product, so we want it to be something that works. So we try it on ourselves first, and we will use it for a month or 2 months or however long we think we need to before we feel comfortable introducing it to friends. And we always let friends try it first. They're kind of like our human guinea pigs, I guess, but they're all willing. They're willing participants. But they all try it first, and then when we feel confident, then we, so probably, somewhere in the neighborhood of a year per product, just experimenting with each other and friends and family. No animal tests, just people.
Hi, I'm Melanie. You were talking about you're doing this in your own home. It sounds like it's a small deal. So are you guys, it sounded like you maybe were at your limit for your own production. Is that correct? You're looking for another way to manufacture this maybe outside of your home?
We're definitely approaching our limit. I mean, I think that there's still more we could do on our own, but it is like we're working a lot right now. So if we had a dedicated facility where we could maybe employ other people and things like that, it would definitely expand our potential.
Yeah, because if you went really strong with the e-commerce, since it's such a small part of your business now, I mean, that could really take off, and your numbers would go crazy, and you couldn't keep up with your numbers.
And that's why we've been cautious about that.
Sure.
And we haven't promoted what we feel like was beyond. But you never know. I mean, Facebook is a weird animal. People like and share, and all of a sudden something is viral. Mm-hmm. And so. We do have friends that right now, if we needed to, we could employ, and they're willing. It's just one of those things where we haven't had that much demand yet.
Have you thought about doing any outsourcing rather than going through buying a whole or leasing a whole space, but outsourcing, having your products made somewhere else, or do you feel comfortable with that?
I think that would be, there would have to be a facility that we would feel that would match what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult to find that right now within the industry. We've talked about sharing space at one point, just warehouse space with another company that's here that's local. The only thing about that company that might prevent that from us is that they use fragrance, and so we didn't want anything like that. So it's very difficult to find that, but I know that I'm sure it's out there, and we have thought about that if in the future that we need that, but. One of the things that we've talked about in our family is that, we have 6 children, and we like to stay near them, and we homeschool our kids, and we want to, if we can, we want to have a space that is nearby us, where I don't have to commute to work. I can be as local as I could possibly be if it's outside the door and going into a shop or something like that. There's a lot of space here in Springfield that we could use, but we'd like to be as close as we are. And I know the website said that we're Willard. That's actually our post office box, but we are located in Springfield. So.
Good luck. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Hansen. A friend of mine manages Kaleidoscope here in town, and they have a tattoo parlor in the building. I thought you might contact them. I think they could sell all of your products, not just the tattoo.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, he kind of stole one of my questions. Just wanted to clarify if you had an exclusive with Ink Inc. But then my second question was just if you guys got tattoos and forced all your friends to get tattoos before you tested this product out.
Well, we have lots of tattooed friends. I know we don't look like the typical tattoo couple, but we really do have a lot of, and really that was one thing. We had a friend that really loved our lotion to make his tattoos shiny. He was like, they shine when I put it on there, so that was a big deal. And we don't have tattoos yet, although they are in the works. We have plans. But no, we trusted Kelsey and her clientele to make choices for us about how it worked. So.
And to answer the question about exclusivity with Ink Inc., no, we're not necessarily exclusive with them, and they do know that we do sell it online as well right now. But we haven't done that. As they've grown, they've helped us grow. We've been respectful of that, but we also know that for us to be able to continue to provide a good product, that we need to go outside of that. And so that's where we're headed.
How do you determine your pricing model? Obviously, your costs are going to be different if you go outside your home, rent space, et cetera, to get the right profit margin you're looking for?
I think we would have to go back to the drawing board for some of the things if we were to add some of those expenses that we don't have on right now, and that's one of the reasons why we'd like to be able to buy larger quantities. To help us to lower that and increase our profit margin so that we have that space to be able to do some things like that.
Are you getting any assistance and outside assistance in terms of your pricing so that you can remain and continue to be profitable?
As far as outside, you mean like mentorship or?
Accountants, business consultants, people like that may have.
We have not yet. No, we have not yet.
Thanks for the presentation. You've done an excellent job distinguishing yourself from conventional products, but can you dig a little deeper into what you think distinguishes yourself in the natural space? Because as I've been sort of exploring products a lot online, there's endless products available, but I'm not really sure where to start. So maybe you can tell me about your products.
Sure. Well, one of the biggest things that we discovered through our journey is that natural doesn't mean anything. Like there's no regulation on that. So what we need to do is actually do our own research and know what we're looking for. And so to us, that meant products that are not going to be harmful to our family, to our children. So no artificial fragrances, no preservatives, not to say that words you can't pronounce are always bad, but a lot of times it's the words you can't pronounce on the ingredient list that you're looking for that you want to avoid. So we did a lot of research. There's a lot of estrogen mimickers in different lotions and things like that. There's a lot of parabens, all these things that we don't know for sure what causes all the cancers and allergies and things that we're seeing in our children today. But a lot of it seems to be that we're overloading them with all these different chemicals and things like that. So we went way back to the drawing board really, and we just wanted pure, simple things. And so that was what was important to us, because you might find something on a shelf at a store that says it's natural, but my definition of natural doesn't include any artificial fragrances, doesn't include those chemicals and things like that. So that's really, we tell people to do their own research and know what they feel comfortable with. As far as what they're going to use, but we can give you a jumping off point of what you might be looking for, I don't know if that kind of answers what you're...
You can look as far as labeling. You see something that says natural, and that can mean a lot of things. But you can also look at the labeling and see if something is certified organic or if it's organic. Not all of our products are, and we're full disclosure on our labels. The things that are organic, we make sure that you know that they are organic.
But our products aren't organic.
Our products, yeah, the ingredients. But the ingredients, some of our ingredients are organic, some of them are not. But the things that are not organic, we feel are safe products, as far as like coconuts are harvested in far reaches. Usually they're not chemically sprayed, or very few. So the coconut oil is a safe alternative.
So we want things to be affordable to people, and we want them to be safe, both. So.
I have a question. I'm over here on the side. Excuse me, sorry, I'm hiding. And I came in a little late, so I apologize. But do you guys, have you looked at for your soap, doing some kind of an extrusion machine for that rather than trying to hand do? And I know that there are a lot of government contracts out there, because I have a guy that I know that supplies soap to prisons and military and a lot of things like that, and it becomes very lucrative. And I wonder if there isn't an avenue to look at a more healthy, environmentally conscious way to get into some of those accounts and really scale up your production, and without, I mean, his company is very, very lucrative.
I must say that is something I have not thought of. No, I would never have thought of a contract with prisons. But I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to pursue.
One of the things that we have discussed is, you know, hotels. That's immediately when you think of chains, and especially boutique type hotels. What do you call them? Can't think. Bed and breakfast. Yeah, things like that. We're definitely searching for that kind of a market. However, I don't know exactly what we would do as far as a governmental thing like that. But yeah, it definitely have to be tested, I'm sure.
Good. I got one question for you. So I've known you guys for a while. I appreciate you guys coming back. It's good to see you guys doubling sales. If you covered a lot today, right? You covered a lot. With the new line, like Simple Man, new products, new categories, all these endless possibilities, right? You can boil it all down to the one thing that you feel is holding your company back from just taking on. What do you think it is?
Probably, I mean, there's one thing would be time, and the next thing would be space, and then I think, you know, if I was like narrowing them down, I think probably capital at the end. So those three things are the things that hold us back the most. And I know that we're two people and we have 6 kids and we homeschool and we do all these things. So it takes a lot of time to do what we do. If we didn't have family and we didn't work together, we wouldn't be able to accomplish that. But also looking at what we want to accomplish in the future, we know that it can't just be us in the long run. We'll have to actually let go of some things. Doesn't mean we're going to let go and lose the integrity of our products, but we know that there's going to be more, and we want to make sure that we have people on board that are with us for the long haul. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Devin and Carrie, thank you so much for a great presentation, and thank you for what you're doing for our community. So we'd like to ask one final question. What is it that we can do as a community for you?
He's looking at me. I think we are just looking for those connections. I mean, if you know if space is available, if you have information that we don't have about government contracts or a tattoo parlor, I mean, that's the kind of thing that we're looking for. So we appreciate your help.
And we also want you to share.
Yeah.
Share. If you can, go to our page, like our page, share. Social media has been a huge thrust for us, and I know that will be in the future. And don't just share because we're a company and we want you to share. Share because you care about the people that are around you and their skin and what they're putting on it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, middle of the show, it's time for announcements. I tell all these guys at the back of the door that there's a few more spaces left here up front. I just want to rattle off some things that I think the entrepreneurs in the room would be interested in knowing. First off, you can talk to Rayanna about any of the SBTDC programs that you guys see here. Additionally, if you are an organization, if you're a service provider that's looking to have a little bit more of an impact here at the E-Factory, there are tax credits in exchange for the naming rights to a lot of the rooms that are soon to be developed. And if the growth curve of the E-Factory is any testament, these rooms are going to fill up fast. Additionally, The reinvestors group, you can talk to Brad or Sean, they can raise their hand. Rayanna with the feasibility study, she's in the back. This is something that's a little bit new to a lot of the industries here in Springfield, but they've been doing it for a while. The spring semester, if you think that your company would be interested in putting to work 30 entrepreneurship students, they do a feasibility study in the spring semester, and they're going to take your company and they're going to make it their entire project for the whole semester. And there's actually a lot of success stories. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can talk to Rayanna here in the back. And then finally, I'd like to throw out Startup Weekend. We held our first Startup Weekend in January, and it was a smash success. We did it here at the E Factory, and I'll give you the really quick pitch on what it is. On Friday night, we have individuals come in to this room, and they have 60 seconds to pitch an idea. After they pitch their idea, we write it on a big Post-it note, and we stick it on the wall, and when everybody's done, we give them 3 votes, and we do a single round of elimination, and then we finally form teams around the best ideas, and it's the owners of those ideas' responsibility to recruit their team, and then it's a 54-hour sprint. All meals, all expenses paid, lots of swag is available, and then on Sunday night we rent out a theater and we have a demo night where we have 3 judges and each of them presents their company for 5 minutes with 3 minutes of Q&A, and it's exciting. The pressure cooker model for startups has been tremendous, and so many things happen in a weekend that sometimes take years to happen in a traditional organization. It really forces you to think differently and get creative and believe in yourself that this is your chance to be an entrepreneur. So if you're interested in that, talk to myself or talk to Chris Allen, who's wearing the Startup Weekend t-shirt back there. And then finally, to wrap up announcements, I'd like to have LaDonna Griner get up here. LaDonna, take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. This morning, I just wanted to share with you that you may have been here in June when I presented 21 reasons to say thank you. Well, I have a class started now at Schweitzer United Methodist. It's a very good discount if you want to attend. It's 21 reasons to say thank you with a grateful heart. And it's a smaller version of the large package. It includes a book and 10 note cards, which are Ozark photographs by Ozark photographers, including our own Jennifer Simpson, who did one of the cards. But I invite you to come to Schweitzer on Sunday evenings at 6:30. The information is on my Facebook page. And also, if you have children, my latest blog post could be very helpful for you with activity for kids, so check it out. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Okay, guys, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Zach Grants with Human Anyway.
Hello, my name is Zach Grants, and you may know me from Nixon Public Schools. I'm the Chief Communication Officer for Nixon Public Schools, so I guess I get to do the professional by day, rock star by night kind of thing, and live the dream, nap in the middle. But Human Anyway has actually been around since 2007, but I would say 2012 is when the band decided to take the more professional route. We released a CD, we had radio play nationally with 2 of our singles. One of them actually went international with a music video. We've been licensed in movies, or in a documentary coming up. We're in licensing services to be in bars and restaurants and shopping in Europe. So if you're shopping at Express in Europe, you may hear one of our songs, which would be awesome, kind of thing. And so we really have kind of taken that point as a band to go as professional as possible. We are actually have just been signed by Labeled Records out of Kansas City. I probably should check them out. And by Stephen Cooper, who is a successful rap artist and has his stuff all over the place with the NFL, Pro Bowl, Major League Baseball and stuff. And so we just signed that contract, and so that's where we are right now. We're getting ready to launch everything with a new single on November 20th. But the back end of a band is probably something that a lot of people don't know about. It's just like any other startup, it's like any other business. We have the capital that we put in the equipment, which was our instruments, we put in our time, we get everything ready to go, and then we release a song. And then it can take up to 9 months before we see any traction on that song. So you put all this money out there, you put your heart and soul into something, and you kind of like open the doors to the business, and like somebody will come in and download a song. And somebody will come in and download a song, and then it starts to kind of snowball a little bit. It's not an immediate thing like going in and buying a whole bunch of coffee somewhere or having a retail space that opens. The one thing that we do like to kind of give people an idea is how much does it even cost to be a music artist. This is kind of a round number. This can go up. You can have songs that cost up to $10,000 to produce. You can have songs that cost less than $500. This is kind of just a round number kind of in the middle. But let's say it costs $1,000 for one song. In order for us to break even with no advertising money spent, all that stuff, we have to have 1,500 song downloads from iTunes. We get about 69 cents per song, kind of thing. And I know none of you have ever downloaded a song illegally off the internet, ever, kind of thing. So it's 99 cents, people, come on. It's 100,000 streams of a song on like Spotify or Pandora. We get about like 1 cent. Some of them we get 1/10 of 1 cent, so you can go even further with that. And then I put up their shirts. There's a reason why shirts when you go to concerts are like 50 bucks. It's because we get no money from anything else, so we have to charge you. That shirt cost us $5, but that is how we're getting home. It's basically if everybody buys a shirt. So we get really excited when that happens. Now, this doesn't include equipment. So for an average band to have like a mid-level equipment, you're thinking about $2,000 per band member on equipment. And that's not even including the recurring costs, because drummers break sticks and strings break and everything else like that. So think about that. So that's just for one song. So if you're an album, multiply that by 8, and you kind of start looking at the things that it takes to start up with a band. The music industry is also shifting. Downloads versus streaming is a big thing right now. Everybody wants your music on a streaming service. We get paid nothing for that. And so that's where we're like, please download our 99-cent song, give a $5 coffee in your hand. It's not that much, kind of thing. The other thing too is that many concert venues are starting to go to the pay-to-play model. And this means as a band, it costs me $300, let's say, to go to St. Louis for a show with gas, hotel, just basic expenses. Many venues are now saying you have to pay us $200 before we'll let you play in front of our audience. That's becoming the norm, not the exception. So we're out $500 for a show for 30 minutes, opening for an act. We don't know if anybody's going to show up. Nobody shows up, we're out $500, we've not sold anything. That's how the music industry is, and so as far as that goes. And then the other thing too is that we have to find a community to support local music. Springfield is not a community that supports music. Springfield has a horrible, horrible reputation in the music industry, from national acts down to local acts, of people don't want to come here. You will find acts that come through, they've sold out stadiums and venues right before they come to Springfield, and then they will have 50 people at a show. And so we get this reputation, so nobody wants to come. And a lot of that is why we're like, hey, we got this great show, we got 4 bands, they're awesome, it's $5. And everybody goes, I don't know if I can do $5. And then they're like, and then they post, then they check in on Facebook. We just had a great dinner at Cheddar's. And I'm like, it's $5, you know, kind of thing. So that's kind of the mindset of this area. Not all areas are like that, and Springfield needs, and we're working to change that. The Regency just opened. We're really excited about that, to see what that brings in, maybe some bigger acts, get people out there. But we as a community have to go out, and we have to support local bands. Now, are all bands going to be good? No. Several of them are going to suck, okay? And we know that. But don't judge every band by that one band that you heard that is horrible. A lot of communities like Joplin have several different venues. People line up and they pack the place because they want to hear the new band that's coming out. And if the band is bad, they let everybody know, they don't buy their stuff, they don't come back. But if they're good, it's great. The other thing that we run into as an industry, if you play in a market too much, people stop coming out. So everyone like here wants like, when you play your next show? Well, we've got one a month. Why aren't you playing every weekend? Because nobody will come. If you play every weekend, so you kind of just become that white noise in the background. So our model is basically, we are putting our music out and we're seeing what communities around the country pick it up, where we get radio play for songs, and that's where we will go and play in and really focus on that area and build kind of a base and build a following, and then we'll go play a show there. And that we get the most bang out of our investment, rather than just playing all over the place. We are not 20 or 18. I'm not living in a van on the road. I refuse to do that. I have a career, and so it's a little different for us. But the thing that you don't know too is, even with those big name artists like the Backstreet Boys or One Direction or Daughtry or all those people, when they start off, the record companies own them, and they are spending the beginning part of their career paying back the record company. So they may still live in that $100,000 house in their hometown and they would be playing for millions of people around the world, but they can't afford to move because the record company owns them. And for us, that is why we signed with Unlabeled Records, because Unlabeled Records is a shifting how it's done. Instead of being owned by the label, it's a shared model that we're excited about. It's more of a cost up front for us. We're paying for things a little bit more, but we're not completely in debt to the record company. The other model that they have set up is it's a profit sharing, so they don't make money until we make money, so they're invested in our success. And Stephen Cooper created this label because what happened was, he was like, this is the label I wish I would have personally, because he's been on multiple labels. We've been approached by multiple labels. We did not sign because we did not want to have that much debt to them and not be able to live our lives. I need to pay my mortgage still. I need to pay for my car. I need to eat. I like food, things like that. And so it is more work on our end, but I'd rather work for it and have that success at the end for what we're going to do. So what can you do? This is not just for us. We'd love for you to download our music. You can find it, online everywhere. But the other thing is, if you find a band that you like, just go download the song. It's 99 cents. I guarantee you, it's about everybody's on iTunes. It's a lot easier to get on than everybody thinks. I tell everybody we're on iTunes. They're like, ooh, I'm like, nah, it's not that cool, kind of thing. But anybody can get on this, so go download music. Go call the radio stations and request. Q102 is great by playing local artists here and supporting that, but that's about an hour a week a lot of times that they promote local music. We need more push from you guys requesting music. Go to local shows. Spend that $5, spend that $10 to go out and find local bands out there. And then lastly, you can invest in a band. You may not have thought of that before, but bands are looking for investors to come up and say, you know what, I like your music, I think you guys are going to take off. Because we have to pay for advertising, we have to pay for all these things as a band. And after we spent all the money on recording, all the money on our instruments are ready to go, we still have to do all the advertising to get our songs out there. And so if you're interested in that too, find a band that you like. If you like us, that's awesome, I'll play your music, kind of thing. And you can actually invest and become a partner with the band.
Questions, feedback?
Jeff, appreciate what you do. My brother is in the same boat as you. He's on his third band and actually was on tour, came through Springfield and played at the Outland. And the case that he's in now, I think, played true here. So they're out of Dallas and they play in Austin, but their demographic is completely different than what they expected.
Right.
They get more money in tickets bought when they play underage venues in those areas. Do you think about how you advertise and when you're going to go for the 16-year-old spending dad's $5 versus the 30-year-old that's like, yeah, I'd rather watch football?
And that's a lot of how we do. When we put songs out there, you can almost instantly kind of know which markets are going to start picking you up with radio play, because you'll be like, oh, okay, we're played in Ohio, or we're played in San Francisco Bay Area was huge for us. I was like, okay, didn't expect that. And then we had Madison, Wisconsin. Those were our 3 areas. And so what you do is you start shipping stuff up. They played us at a minor league baseball game up there. We gave away CDs, all that kind of stuff. So we had a lot of traction up there. And so that's where we focused a lot of our time. So that's really what it is. You find your demographic, you find your people, and you follow them. It's kind of like a virus being spread, where you get all these little pockets of stuff, and then they start talking about it, and then you grow from there. You kind of connect the dots. But it is random, absolutely random. Like, this age group is going to like it, and they're like, oh, we hate that. But then you could get this other group over here, and like, all right, cool, we like you, things like that. So.
Over here, Diana.
Yeah.
I actually used to work for Q102,
yeah.
And they do a lot with local bands and stuff like that. What kind of genre of music do you guys play? I'm not sure I heard you talk about
rock.
that. Rock.
Yeah, we're
okay.
rock. Yeah.
Well, one maybe tip might be to, since you have that relationship maybe with Q102 and those program directors, there's other locally owned markets that they might know a program director in Madison, or they might know another one. And then just a question is, have you tried maybe the iHeartRadio group, because they are such a huge conglomerate of multi-networked groups. So maybe they look for more of those top 40 charts of who's already hitting top, and maybe they do have a more of a local, I guess, bands played feature. But I guess, have you had any success, or have you tried maybe those national?
Yeah, we actually were played on XM radio off our last album, and that's where this unlabeled record kind of thing has been very, very helpful to us. Stephen's been with us for a while and has helped promote us, and then he formed the record label. What we were finding is when they get so many requests from people on that iHeartRadio, because everybody has a band and they think they're great and stuff like that, and and that's the problem, is you have people that really, this is their heart and soul. And so having somebody who's established that can walk in the door, they have a relationship built, they're going to listen to him. If we just send our CD in, they're going to be like, oh, it's another CD we listen to. So that's where it's been that catch-22 where we don't want the label to own us, but we need the resources of a label. And that's what we're excited. Stephen, his song was played at the NFL, it's the Pro Bowl montage. If you watched the Pro Bowl last year, you heard his music. And so what he's able to do for us is go, hey NFL, here's their stuff. And so MTV's getting ready to look at our new stuff, VH1, we have a lot of those places that are lined up, ready to go. It's just, we had to get the new music out as it went. So literally, I'm sitting here going, do you have anything yet? Kind of thing. And it's their time frame, not ours. And that's where that 9 months, a lot of artists, you'll hear on the radio, hey, a new song by so-and-so. We've been promoting that song for like a year, and we hate it because it's like that old song, they're like, oh my goodness. But every time a new market comes in, you have to treat that new market like it's a brand new song, nobody's ever heard it before, and it's the most awesome thing ever, and promote it as such. So yeah, we're going that route, a lot of online streaming, a lot of those things, because we can hit a wider market. So, but thank you. Brock and I have already been emailing, so it's been awesome. So,
I have a question more about the local music scene.
Yeah.
I'm actually from Atlanta, and they have a very vibrant local music scene, and I really loved it there. What can we do as a community to get the local music scene more, give it more traction here?
I think what it's going to, personally, I think it's going to take people packing out shows for a while, because the reputation of Springfield is so bad with acts that, that's the problem, is we're going to have to pack out some shows. Music you may not like, that kind of thing. We may need to start packing out some venues and just checking out the local bands, because that's where the reputation comes. Because if a band, I have 2 cities I can choose from. I know this venue packs out every Friday night just to hear the local music, and this one is a reputation for, they're so picky. That's the problem.
So how do we do that? Is it the venues that people are not enjoying, or is it the fact that they're just not willing to spend that kind of money?
I think it is the community, and working from the school district, I see this just as a general for the population. We promote an event for Anixa schools like all the time, and we put out all this stuff, and we cannot get people to commit until the night of the event. We will get, like, even the pre-sale tickets for stuff. You can charge $20, the ticket's $20 at the door, and it's $10 pre-sale. They will not sell out of all the pre-sale tickets. Now, Carrie Underwood's like the exception. Okay, if Carrie Underwood comes in, she's selling out. But for local bands, they won't pay that $10. They will wait until the night of the show and pay that $20. So even the pre-sale tickets that a lot of local venues rely upon to gauge, we can't even get that here. Now, hopefully, with the music venues, the bigger venues, the more people we can get in. But it literally is going to take us as a community going out and supporting local music and finding those genres that we want to support. Because there's so much talent here that we play with, but we don't play with them here. We play with them in Kansas City, St. Louis, Tulsa. We don't have concerts here because nobody shows up. So, yep, yes.
Hey, Zach, I'm John. I appreciate the comments and insight. I'm a musician as well, so
yeah.
We'll feel your pain. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more. You said you kind of test these markets out. Kind of what's your main metric for, say you submit your stuff, you're submitted it to like the radio stations or like the college market, or like how do you determine, okay, let's go after medicine or whatever it is?
A lot of that gets into just the same thing you would do with any other business. You look at your hits, your interactions on social media, who's buying stuff. That's great with a lot of the online stores, is you can tell where your stuff's being shipped to. We were getting a lot of stuff from the Czech Republic, from our Truth and Lies single, and so my colleagues were like, start advertising, So you have to like watch those trends. We're cool in the Czech Republic, So that's which I'm okay with. We don't play every concert venue in the Czech Republic if we can. And that's why even things like Japan is actually a huge music place for American artists to go. That there was one, I forgot his name, but he was like hardly successful in the United States, and then all of a sudden he started getting all these royalty checks coming in that were like thousands of dollars, and he's like, where am I big? And they're like, Japan. He's like, we're going to Japan. And so you have to find your area, find your demographic, find those venues that will play you, find the radio stations will play you, and then build those relationships. Because radio stations, they get screwed over by artists all the time, by the local artists. People don't show up. Be willing to do those interviews. I will call them and say, hey, you have our song. Are you getting any traction by it? Would you need anything? Do you need some giveaways? Do you need a radio interview? Or if I'm going to be in an area, I travel for school business too. So a lot of times if I know there's a music station there that's been playing our stuff a little bit, like, hey, I'm going to be in the area. Can we hook up? Can I take you out to dinner? It's just about those relationships, because they want to support people who are willing to be supported and who are in it for the right reasons. The thing that bugs me the most, though, as being an artist, is the problem is we don't support the local music, and so you can find somebody that is great, and the biggest thing that you hear is like, oh, I want you on the radio, because you won't download our music, because you won't call and request the songs, because you won't come to the shows. So it's actually better for some local artists to sit on the street corner and play their music and accept tips. They make more money doing that than they do trying to make it big. Breaking even for us is a big deal, and this is starting off just to pay the expenses. I'm not looking to be rich right now. I'm looking to pay the bills, kind of thing. So, does that answer your question? Okay, great. Yes?
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Proud of you. I appreciate you. Two things on the promotion of local music. Just to let you know, we have something in the works. So, yes. In fact, there's an 11 o'clock meeting today that you're invited to at the magazine. Voice. Okay. You're going to get an inside look. Second, have you considered, I'll call it the mall tour idea? Because what I see is PFI finds an emerging artist, and they have such leverage over radio and TV stations here with the advertising that they spend. Those stations are then obligated to promote their parking lot concerts. Those artists get discovered, and PFI sells thousands of boots in the process. Have you looked at a retail tour where you can drive traffic to retail locations, so they benefit off what they sell, and they also have some leverage to promote you with who they advertise with?
Yes, that's some stuff in the works for us. It's all about getting on that right tour, that right place, finding the right bands to play with, and it's just like, for example, like Winter Jam coming through Springfield. Those are those great tours for us to try to hook up with. And what we found is also great, is you find an artist that is successful, hears the music that they like, and because they've been there, and they're like, hey, you need to listen to these people, and they'll promote you as well. So it's also getting to those other artists that have been there, that have not forgotten where they came from. There's some artists that I would never want to work with again, because for some reason they forgot, hey, you struggled at some point in time. But there's other ones that they'll retweet you, and they'll find your stuff, and they'll really like it. For us, our biggest challenge right now is getting out our new music, because we had a lot of success from our 2012 album, which we had a single in 2013. The music industry is such that we need to do music out, and that's what we've been doing for the past years, writing, recording, working with the label to get everything tweaked. And now that we have that out, they're presenting us to tours, they're presenting us to all these different places, and we'll see where it goes. We may take a tour of California up and down the coast, because that's where our music is played. So yeah, we're looking at all venues, and that's the other thing that's changing, is it may not be the traditional music venue anymore, it may be the parking lots, and maybe Walmart did the Walmart tour for those country artists. Those are the things you have to look at, and the game changes all the time, so you have to ever evolve. As people are going more towards streaming, we have to focus on streaming. As people are going more towards this, we have to move towards that. So, yeah. And for example, we're doing stuff for free. We covered Ghostbusters. I don't know if you saw it or not. We covered Ghostbusters, and we released it last week. And we had a whole bunch of views of our video. We shot that with our iPhones, and I edited it that night. I mean, we were being goofy. It was not trying to be like cool, but we had some really cool shots with our iPhones, And so we're like, hey, let's try this as well. So you just have to get creative in how you promote yourself. So.
Morning, Zach. My name's Michael. I'm a senior at Missouri State University. most of the events I go to in town, I find out about on Facebook, and if I'm not following a band,
Right.
I don't find out that they're playing.
Correct.
Maybe I find out the next day how much fun everyone had. They need to do a better job of advertising on Facebook and other social media.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is the way Facebook is rolling right now, I mean, you have to pay for everything, as you all know that, so if we want anything to go out there, you know, we put out, and I kind of been doing some test markets as well. Venues also, it should not fall to the venue to promote everything, but also the venue does need to do a good job of promoting, but that's where they have to work with the local radio stations, they have to work with the local advertisers, and they have to have those kind of set those every Friday night is something and brand it. I know about marketing, that's my job, and so you have to have something to where it's the band showcase every Friday night, to where you get those bands out and people know that they can come here and do music, and you get that regular following. I think that's probably something that would be great locally to help out, because then it's becomes something that everybody goes to every Friday night, and you don't get all the repeats, and maybe it's one night that's really successful. So, no, I agree completely. That's our biggest frustration sometimes, is we're out there promoting it ourselves, and it's to our fans, and so they know about it, so they show up, and then we get all these messages afterwards, like, oh, we missed your show, and I'm like, I know, you know, and so their friends talk about it, and then it's 2 months before we play another show, so they don't get that immediate satisfaction, so.
Zach, thanks a lot, man. I don't think a lot of people think of a band as a startup, but it is. I think you've done a good job shining light on that. So we always wrap it up, and you kind of touched on this earlier. What can we do as a community to help do it anyway? What can we do to help the local music scene?
Get involved, go to the shows. I would say the best thing you can do is invest in a local band. If you find somebody that you like, see how can we, there's profit sharing, there's all those kind of things, but that's what bands need to get over that hump. Probably to get out there and be successful, is because we spent all of our money making the song. Now we got to promote the song too. That would just be helpful. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for coming out. First time we had a band present, and Zach definitely promoted it as a startup, which is a cool concept. How many people are entrepreneurs here? So if you guys look around, it's like 3/4 of the room. Do you guys know somebody else who could benefit from this platform, or benefit from getting in front of a totally diverse group of 100 people? Let us know, let them know. We'd love to have them out here. You can follow us at 1mcsgf.com, all the social medias. Thanks for all of our sponsors. We'll be here next week. I'm wearing a cool little product that's about to be launched in December. So keep an eye on that, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you guys.